in a circle. Okay. And hello, Dorit.
Hey, my apologies for being late. I'm a doofus.
No. As Janie knows, I've been yelling at AT&T this whole time. I'm off the phone now, so we're all good.
Okay, let's start.
I'll still call myself a doofus. I'm completely cool with that.
Well, welcome everybody to the CIS committee. I am Janie. I am the head of the CIS committee. And you are both now currently members today.
Woohoo!
So Dorit, will you need to share your screen with?
I have no idea how to share a screen, and I noticed that my motion isn't in the packet.
Right, because I didn't have access to it.
I sent her the emails that you sent me, but for some reason she couldn't open it.
Yeah, I'm a moron. I'm gonna like stop ever trying anymore. I can't do.
No. Well, you didn't.
Don't tell me no. Don't tell me no. I just can't do this. I will. So, I can't share a screen. I don't know what to do.
No, you know what, Dorit? The share a screen button is right at the bottom of your
well, wait. I'd have to make her a co-host. So I'm gonna do that right now.
Okay. Yeah, but even if you guys do, I don't know if I'm ready yet because I was gonna get ready.
So here's what I would suggest.
No. Yeah, could you do the other motion first, please?
Yeah, I would suggest that. And if you don't want to share the screen, if you want to go back to your Google Drive and give me access to your proposed CIS.
I don't know. Just do the other one first, okay? While I try to figure stuff out. I'm sorry to be a bitch.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not ready.
We'll let you figure it out. Let's go ahead with did anyone want to make public comments before we begin?
The only public comment I'd like to make is to update people on CESs that we've already done. Passed. The one where we supported AB 71, that passed city council already, but it's still pending in the state. That's to raise $1.2 billion a year for housing. The comprehensive study for crisis response strategy, which is basically CD10's right to shelter, that passed city council already. And how LASA spends Measure H money that comes from the city of Los Angeles. Measure H is not HHH, it's the mental health, not the housing. That also passed city council. So I just wanted to give an update of what we've already done. And still pending are the infrastructure one that we passed in February. The study of how HHH money is being spent that we passed in February is still pending. Yeah, those are the two that we passed that are still pending. So those are the ones I'm in charge of. I just thought it was good for this body to know what's going on.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, then let's go ahead and start with Laura's CIS. Go ahead, Laura.
So I'm thinking I should post the council motion first and then what I wrote second, or vice versa.
You can just briefly summarize the motion and then you can just show us your CIS.
Okay. Well, all right. So let me. Okay, so basically, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Basically, the city of Los Angeles has a state legislative program. So the council ends up passing multiple resolutions to add this, that, or the other thing to that program. And that's for the lobbyists to carry up to Sacramento. I don't know who the lobbyists are exactly, but to say, we support this, we want you to do that. So one of those, 21-0002-S66, and Buscayano is who put it forth about a week ago, is to support a pending piece of legislation that would establish a California universal basic income for transition age youth, a pilot program that would last 3 years to provide $1,000 a month to California residents who are 21 years of age and who've exited the foster care system. So essentially the so-called emancipated foster kids. And I don't know if in the end, if the pilot would somehow target only a certain number of them, or if they're going to try and identify 100%. I don't know that, but I am proposing that we support it. And that is what my CIS says. It would provide basic financial income and support for emancipated foster youth. We support this, who have aged out of the foster system. Existing state law provides for a child welfare system that protects abused and neglected children, but the support and protection ends abruptly when the child ages out of the system. Youths exiting the foster care system face significant challenges and often cannot afford the basics, housing, and clothing. At the same time, state and federal support for providers of housing solutions for this population, dubbed TAY, transition age youth, age 18 to 24, have been, I guess that should be has been, severely cut back, leading to homelessness and other crisis issues. The state legislature is considering a bill modeled after a pilot program in Stockton, California, that provides 125 low-income residents a basic income for a period of 2 years. So this new bill would provide for TAY youth participating in the proposed 3-year program unconditional monthly payments of $1,000. And according to Buscaino, SB 739 could represent a first step in addressing the dire needs faced by youth exiting the foster care system and shield them from financial hardship, homelessness, and further distress. The legislation also asks the State Department of Social Services to administer and monitor the program, reporting the results at the end of the 3-year pilot program. UNNC welcomes and supports this action and urges the Los Angeles City Council to add this legislation to its state legislative advocacy program.
I approve we move this forward. Or I second that we move it forward, because I guess you're firsting it.
I don't know. I guess it is my motion. Yeah.
You're firsting it and I'll second it.
Great. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, I don't think it doesn't seem controversial to me. So I don't know if there's really that much to discuss. It seems great.
I'll fix the typo. I mean, the grammar error, whatever, usage, whatever it was, has, not have, or whatever.
Laura, I sent you the CIS that Hugh and I wrote.
Okay. So. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can simply share it online. Let's see what.
Did both of you get a chance to look at it even before all this?
No, but we're fast studies. There.
I did. I looked at it when you sent it. I read it when you sent it.
I looked at the motion, but I couldn't because I found that one online. Or no, Janie sent it to me, but I didn't look at the CIS.
It is the most academically written CIS that we will probably ever have in this committee. I don't know what Hugh and I were thinking, but we went to complete grad school students. That's how like our minds went there, like we're writing a thesis or something. So it might be a little bit just too much because like we cite our sources here. So it might be too much and we completely understand that. And if we're told, hey, back off, we're cool with it. Do you all want me to read it or do you want to read it yourself or how do y'all want to work this?
I read it already. And I do think that for the CIS itself, we don't need all the references. And I think that the best thing for the CIS is keep it to the amount of characters that can immediately be attached when you're filing a CIS, unless it's really necessary. But I think all this information is really helpful, like in when we bring it to the board and people ask questions, to have all this backup info is great. To know what you're talking about. Sometimes I'm not as prepared as I need to be. So yeah, this is great, and maybe we will just
Cut off half of it.
yeah, maybe just kind of off the top of your head, Laura, do you remember how many characters it needs to be to get immediately filed?
This is probably wrong. I'm wanting to say 1755, but I'm making that up. It's maybe it's 2200. It's characters and spaces.
Yeah.
Maybe it's 2200. It's certainly not much more than that.
Okay, we'll look it up.
But we can look it up. I mean, I can't easily go to it right now. I've had so many computer issues.
Okay, so
a mouse issue, not luckily not one running across the house, but a mouse on the computer. But at one point it crashed my entire all the tabs on my my browser. So I don't have that tab up, and I don't know how to get to it.
If it was a mouse that was crawling around, at least you have cats. But as far as this, then, do you want? Obviously, most of our characters are taken up by our name. Yeah. You know, the United Neighborhoods Neighborhood Council. So
you don't have to put of the historic Arlington Heights, West Adams. You don't have to add that part. You could just say United Neighborhoods Neighborhood Council.
Okay, but even that, it's still a lot. So if we're going to,
there's like all the CISs we've done in the past have been within the realm of what we can add. So it really isn't too short of an amount. It doesn't have to be too short. Just thinking we don't have to add the references because they have
so what if we go
something happens green?
If you want to just tell me where you want to slash, we can slash.
Okay, hang on a second, because should I stop the share at this point, or do you want?
It's completely up to you.
I am not sure we can. No, I can. Okay, why don't we see if we can figure out how many words this is, right?
It's 90,000.
Pardon?
I was being sarcastic. Sorry, bad habit of mine.
Because this may not be as much.
Yeah, it might not be over, in which case we could just keep it all. Yeah.
It's just I have to move it out to actually a Word doc. And then sorry.
Okay. And Dory, I don't know if you well, you wouldn't know, but I just got my first vaccine, so I'm feeling really sick today. So if I look pale in the face,
that's okay. For you. So this is for getting it.
I'm guessing this is not too bad. It's 2,283 characters and spaces.
Okay, so
they won't need a lot of cutting.
Here's an idea. We got rid of we just put United Neighborhoods Neighborhood Council, got rid of the neighborhoods we're part of. Sorry, I'm looking at things that are written up there.
Actually, I think it's totally fine. I think we can leave it as it is.
I think so too.
Let's leave it as it is. And if the board's
that's underlined in red, data suggests that pre-arrest diversion. So I think it just needs a dash, pre-arrest, pre-dash arrest.
I'm so sorry.
I'm not seeing what you're saying.
Down.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hyphen.
That's what I mean when I say dash.
Same thing.
There's another one.
I see it.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're adding 2 characters.
I think we'll be okay.
You're right. Okay. So.
I think we're good.
Super duper.
Yeah. 3.
So Jenny, next month, I already have 8 different ones I'm going to be sending to you, unless I narrow them down a little bit. So get ready to scream at me.
8? Okay, let's let Laura know that right now so that Laura.
Well, yeah, okay. I may have to make these changes a second time because it's not letting me save, but that's okay.
Do you want me to make them and send it to you? Or are
Um,
you making them?
I'm good. I'll see in a second if what I did saved or didn't save. So I can stop the share though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Laura, is it-
So Dory, just so you know, I
We're
just had
sarcastic
a
about 8 of them.
long, I haven't got a final answer, but Greg wanted to do a whole presentation this month. And I went back and checked the timing on it because he already did it at executive, and along with questions, it was 25 minutes. We're having a discussion this month that's going to end up pushing a lot of things to next month. Having this discussion this month of the co-naming Crenshaw Boulevard with Malcolm X. So I am assuming that's going to be 45 minutes at least of a discussion.
Okay. Well,
So I'm
Jenny,
just giving
I'm
you a
gonna
heads
send it-
up. That doesn't mean anything about what you want to propose. I'm just giving you a heads up that we may end up having defer. I mean, I'm trying to figure out how to get the meetings not to go to 11, and yet we have so much to do.
what I'm
Beautiful.
trying to understand is these are for this coming
These are fine.
board
These
meeting.
two are fine.
And the 2 presentations you just mentioned are for the next one?
No,
They're for this one.
this one. And so our meeting, I don't see us starting the meat of the meeting until well after 8 and maybe after 8:30, unfortunately. And we can't put it off. So
Okay, well, for the meeting after,
I'm just saying, I feel like some things on this meeting agenda, not the CIS and not the funding requests, but there may
Yeah.
be other things on April 1's agenda that get tabled to May. Not the CIS, not the funding,
got
but
it.
John and I have already tabled some land use things till May, based
So-
on what I already know about April.
So Dorit, what Laura and I had discussed was that at least for CISs, we'll always have room for. We will always make room for at least 4 CISs, and we could possibly do more if there's room on the agenda. But what I'm wondering, Laura, is if we know ahead of time that there's a lot of important CISs that month, you know, if we can kind of save some room on the agenda for.
I'm
for
trying
that.
very hard to save the room for everything everyone wants to do. You're muted.
Go ahead, Dorit, you're muted.
Well, then saying something when I'm muted was really stupid to me. I have to say the majority of CISs, except for the ones that had to do with pulling back Triple H funding, are just approved. I mean,
Right.
we are not people who are who like to argue by most things. I mean, the ones I'll be submitting are things about, you know, no experimentation on cats for psychological purposes and a few other housing laws. It's the VA currently uses cats as experimental beings, and the feds have there's something in front of the Congress about no longer allowing the VA to use cats as an experiments, you know, for medical and psychological experiments. And that is a CIS I'm going to submit because the city council is supporting the federal motion. So I don't see there's going to be many arguments. I really think that when we get stuff to people, they read it, they understand it, and they just vote. There's not a whole lot of talking about CISs, so I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal.
Okay.
But we'll see. Let's see what happens this month.
Right.
I can
I'm
guarantee
just
these 2 are going to get passed with no discussion.
right. And then, you know, we have the third one that John and I kind of screwed up and forgot to put the final motion in the one Dorit that, yeah. I mean, everything else was there, but not the actual language. So that one will go forward this time, but I'm hoping without any hiccups since we already presented, but couldn't actually vote. So that'll go
I know.
forward too.
And you guys were mad at me about that, but all I did
No,
was.
no,
all I did
you were
was-
totally
no,
correct. Did we argue?
No,
We did
Laura,
not
don't.
argue.
Laura, let me finish what I was gonna say. I didn't say anything except pointed out that something was supposed to be there and it wasn't. So
Correct.
I wasn't a bad guy. I just pointed something out. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, we didn't argue. I didn't argue at all. I said, ugh, you're right. Remember? Ugh. It was ugh, however that is spelled. You're right. But that one, we do need to take that forward this time. Whatever it was, I don't remember. And then the only other thing, I guess I'll just ask the two of you, we ended up doing a resolution rather than a CIS for the same reason on the fees last month on the planning department fee schedule. They're going to not meet till the 6th. So do you think it would take more than like 90 seconds to convert the last month's resolution to an official, call it a CIS, to oppose the increased fees?
As long as you have it written on the agenda, we can vote on it. To me, it's all about Brown Act and what we're supposed to be doing. I won't say anything as long as it's on the agenda the way it's supposed to be. That's it. And I think everyone will vote yes for it because everyone votes yes for everything.
But Laura, I'm trying to understand. Are you asking?
So
if
in
you could-
other words, to correct our behavior when we did have on the agenda last month a CIS or resolution was what it was agendized as, to oppose the increased fee structure. I mean, we had exact language. I'm just doing this off the top of my head, but it was the increase of appeal fees from $189 to $16,000 and the major tripling of fees, and in some cases more than triple, related to all kinds of historic preservation applications. And we already passed it, but we ended up calling it a resolution to avoid the issue of it wasn't really called out the way a CIS is. So I think it's more powerful now that we know that the Plum Committee won't meet until at least the 6th of April. So it's after our next meeting. It's more powerful to call it a CIS, but I don't want to take much time on it because
So
we don't
just
have much time.
Basically just quickly ask. Put
Yeah,
on the
it would be
ask-
an administrative change. And
Yeah,
so I think we can do that. I'll just type it properly on the agenda.
Okay.
All I suggest, Laura, is you just say that straight out. We made a boo. We're going to change this. Simple,
Mhm.
simple, without going into a lot of the details of they meet this month, all that. That's what kind of takes up time. I don't think those details are needed unless they're asked for, if I may say.
That's fine. So the agenda can say an administrative action to convert or change last month's adopted resolution to a community impact statement, and then just type it onto the agenda. Okay, we've got to let Janie go. So I read something, I think I wrote you this, Janie, but Dorit also was in the situation that if you've had COVID and then you get the COVID vaccine, your body recognizes it and fights even harder.
Yeah.
Did that happen to you, Dorit?
Yeah, even though the nurse told me exactly the opposite, but I think she was trying to make me not be scared of getting it. But
No.
you're supposed to have like lots of potassium and Gatorade. That's what
Oh, really?
everyone's telling me.
Ugh.
And I did it, and it not together. You don't have to put a banana in your Gatorade or something.
No, but even Gatorade. Ugh.
I hate Gatorade, but I have some like potassium I can put in my water.
Yeah, that or just to send the husband to the market to get some bananas.
Yeah.
Just send the husband out with the kids to a motel.
No, she should get the motel where it's nice
Or
and
you.
clean, and someone else cleans it for you. It's only going to last a couple of days, but congratulations on being able to get your shot.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. And since I had such a bad reaction to my second vaccination, I now am feel more sure that a year ago in March, I wasn't just a hypochondriac and that I may have had a very, 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 very mild case of COVID a year ago. I thought I was just being sympathetic hypochondriac, but I had such a reaction to the second shot.
I know that we had COVID. My husband and I both had COVID last January before it was called COVID, and all of our friends had been sick too. One of our friends had just come back from Korea, was ill, and then we all got ill. So COVID's been around longer than they're telling us. So,
Yeah,
Right.
all right. On that note, Jenny, go to bed.
I will.
Watch bad TV.
Yeah. Bye, guys. Thank you.
See you in an
Bye.
hour. See you in an hour, Laura.
Oh, right. See, I'd already forgotten, but I would remember.
Yeah, so Tori just asked me to be co-host. I have no idea what the hell that means, but I'll be her co-host tonight.
Well, you'll watch the waiting room and let people in.
It means
I
have to
think
actually
last
show up.
month, oh, you missed your last month meeting, right? There were like 18 people at the homelessness liaison committee, for somewhere 15 to 18 people. I was
Yeah.
amazed. It's so good.
It is good. Will we still turn off the recording?
Okay, hang on.